Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. How's the Josh? I know your Josh is high. Today I will begin with your interesting topic, very important topic, and that topic is numericals of chapter 1 NCERT of class 11th. So let us begin with the NCERT numericals one by one. The first question says, some of the most profound statements on the nature of science have come from Albert Einstein, one of the greatest scientists of all time. What do you think did Einstein mean when he said the most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible? It is very much necessary to understand about it that physical world around us, really it is very complex and difficult. But when scientific observations and experiments came out, then it became very easier. So complexity, difficulties on every you can say on every aspect we are looking around, so many various difficulties. But whenever science, technology, some theorems, some experiments helps us to understand about the nature, then it becomes very easier to understand. So this is the answer. We can say that by the help of scientific observation, scientific thinking, logical thinking, the complex thought about the physical world could be made easy. Okay, so this is the answer of this question. It is a philosophical type of question. In this topic, generally questions are philosophical. Questions are based upon some logical concepts, which is very much needed in our life to understand. The second question, again logical question, very interesting question. I think not only to physics students, but everyone should know these questions, to understand these questions, and everyone should answer these questions, because it makes our mind very brighter and intelligent. So the second numerical, I am speaking about the second numerical. Every great physical theory starts as a heresy, Heresy, and ends as a dogma. Okay, give some examples from the history of science of the validity of this incisive remark. It is very important to understand the meaning of this question. We can give some logical answer. For example, the question says every great physical theory starts as a heresy and ends as a dogma. Means without any proof. Heresy means without any proof, you are determined on a thought, on a view. You are sticking with a view, and you are knowing that that is the true. But after scientific calculation, it might be another view. For example, moment of inertia, I is equal to mr square. This I proportional to m as well on mass. Means moment of inertia depends upon mass. And mass, what was the old concept where the people are strict with this concept that mass is the only thing, it cannot vary. But the theory of relativity, m is equal to m naught 1 minus v square by c square, what it says? That mass depends upon velocity. The old concept was that mass cannot be changed, but here this logic says that mass depends upon the velocity as well. So this is the scientific answer can change the old view. So again I am repeating the question. Every great physical theory starts as a heresy and ends as a dogma. Give some examples from the history of science of the validity of this incisive remark. So this was the example. Now come to the third question. Politics, the third question. Question number third. First is completed, second is completed. Question number third. What question third of this chapter says? Politics is the art of possible. Very interesting and philosophical type of question. Everyone should know it. Politics is the art of possible. Similarly, science is the art of the soluble. Politics is the art of possible, and similarly science is the art of the soluble. Explain this beautiful aphorism on the nature and practice of science. It is the question here. So we should understand it that politics is the art of possible and science is the art of the soluble. We all know what science does. On the basis of experiment, on the basis of innovation, creation of the modern science, by the help of modern science and technology, we can, and by the help of artificial intelligence, where several works are being done by the help of machine, by the help of several type of electronic devices. So in science everything is soluble. That is solution of every problem in science. A scientist does his work, perform his work, and gives us solution of every problem. Similarly, politicians, they say they find the solution only for the purpose of their vote banks. I will not speak much more about this because it might be political. But one thing is very true, that by mouth every solution is possible by politicians. But whether that is practically coming true on the true or not, untrue fact or not, you know everyone. Okay, some of the few people are there who are in politics, they are doing the good jobs. But largely politician people, political peoples, they speak and they solve by mouth. And whenever time comes, they change their view, they change their parties, they make government with the enemy party also. So everything politically. Therefore this line, politics is the art of possible. Okay, and science gives the solution by the help of scientific approach, by the help of the science and technology. So this is all about the discussion. You have other answers also. You can think over this. So now let us move to the question 4. To the question 4. What question 4 says? Though India now has a large base in science and technology, which is fast expanding, it is still a long way from realizing its potential of becoming a world leader in science? Name some important factors which, in your view, have hindered the advancement of science in India. So, it is day to day life. We are watching TV news. We all are being aware daily by the help of social media, by the help of books, by the help of newspapers. So, the answer, we can be the world power in science and technology. We can be world power in every sense. All possibilities are available in our country, but some of the regions which are not making us up to the mark to be the greater on the global platform. Lack of awareness, it is very important thing. Lack of awareness, lack of infrastructures, how to advance our science. So for advancements of science, it is very much aware to increase the, it is very much important to increase the infrastructures, funding also, and other technology which are very important on the global platform. So to be a world leader in science and technology, the government is doing some good works and some more is needed to do. So this is the argument which we can made here, and you all have a sense, we all have different logic and argument in this regard. Okay, so now let us move to the next question. Question number 5. Question number 5 says that, question number 5 says, question number 5, it says, no physicist has ever seen an electron, yet all physicists believe in the existence of electrons. An intelligent but superstitious man advances this analogy to argue that ghosts exist even though no one has seen. Okay, how will you refute his argument? One thing I would like to say, we cannot compare, because on the scientific basis we cannot prove, we cannot perform any experiment to prove about ghosts. So we cannot compare, it is totally unscientific. Okay, so this is the answer of this. We can also think in different way. Okay, so in science there is no any experimental, a proven or science based evidence is not available for proving the ghosts, so we should not compare it. Now the sixth question, question number 6. Question number 6 is, the shells of crabs found around a particular coastal location in Japan seem mostly to resemble the legendary face of a Samuraj. Given below, Samuraj, Samuraj. Given below are two explanations of this observed fact. Which of these strikes you as a scientific explanation? Samuraj is Japani word. A Japani word. It has a different meaning. It means warrior, knight, Knigt, warrior. Okay. So now the two statements are given here. A tragic sea accident. We have to choose which of two statements, any one is correct, which of them is correct. A tragic sea accident several centuries ago drowned a young Samuraj as a tribute to his bravery. Nature, through its inscrutable ways, immortalized his face by imprinting it on the crab shells in that area. The second statement is after the sea tragedy, fishermen in that area, in a gesture of honor to their dead hero, let free any crab shells caught by them which accidentally had a shape resembling the face of a Samraj. Consequently, the particular shape of the crab shell survived longer, and therefore in course of time the shape was genetically propagated. This is an example of evolution by artificial you can say here it is written artificial evolution by artificial selection. Okay, so in the second argument it is written genetically propagated. It is much more scientific. So the scientific, where there is much more scientific keywords are given in the second statement, the keywords are scientifically given here, important keywords, that proves that B is the correct answer here. So B is correct because the scientific explanation has been found here in the second statement. Now the question 7. Question 7 says that the Industrial Revolution in England and Western Europe more than 2 centuries ago was triggered by some key scientific and technological advances. What were these advances? So again I am reading the question. The Industrial Revolution in England and Western Europe more than 2 centuries ago was triggered by some key scientific and technological advances. What were these advances? Okay, so here we can see that the steam engine, electricity, theory of gravitation and the explosive. These were the facts which were invented. These were the scientific phenomena, scientific things which were invented at that time. So these progresses brought about industrial revolution in England and Western Europe. So now come to this next question, that is question number 8. What question number 8 says? It is often said that the world is witnessing now a second industrial revolution which will transform the society as radically as did the first. List some key contemporary areas of science and technology which are responsible for this revolution. So here we have to think over that it is often said, once again I am reading, it is often said that the world is witnessing now a second industrial revolution. On which basis you can say? So development of super fast computer and internet, development of biotechnology, development of drones, development of so many modern equipments, artificial intelligence, these are things which could prove about which could suggest that the second industrial revolution can be justified by these logics. Okay, so these are the things. Now question number 9th. Actually these questions are based upon your general knowledge. If your daily paper you read, if you think over the national and global scientific developments, science and technology developments, then you could answer properly of such type of questions. There may be different type of answer. So many men, so many minds. Okay. Now the question number 9. What question number 9 says? Attempt to formulate your moral views on the practice of science. Imagine yourself stumbling upon a discovery which has great academic interest but is certain to have nothing but dangerous consequences for the human society. How, if at all, will you resolve your dilemma? Okay. Now once again read the question. Attempt to formulate your moral views on the practice of science. Imagine yourself stumbling upon a discovery which has great academic interest but is certain to have nothing but dangerous consequences for the human society. So science is for society. Science is made for society and it has to work for society. Society is not made for science. Science has to do some positive, creative, productive things. So for productive work, science should be used, not for destructive. Therefore, science and technology is made for society. Society is not made for science and technology. Okay. So this is a logical answer. You can answer it in on your own way. Okay. Now question number 10th. Question number 10th says, science, like any knowledge, can be put to good or bad use depending on the user. Given below are some of the applications of science. Formulate your views on whether the particular application is good, bad, or something that cannot be so clearly categorized. Okay, so these are, it says A, B, C, D, in this form it is given. Once again I am reading the question. Science, like any knowledge, can be put to good or bad use depending on the user. Given below are some of the applications of science. Formulate your views on whether the particular application is good, bad, or something that can't be so clearly categorized. So first is A. Number A, television for eradication of illiteracy and for mass communication of news and ideas. Then its answer is, it is good. Another is prenatal sex determination. Prenatal sex determination, it is bad. Computers for increase in work efficiency, it is good. Putting artificial satellite into orbits around the earth, it is good. Development of nuclear weapons, it is bad. Development of new and powerful techniques of chemical and biological warfare, it is bad. Okay, development of new and powerful techniques of chemical and biological warfare, it is bad. Purification of water for drinking, it is good. Plastic surgery, it is good. Cloning, bad. So these are the answer. Now question 11. Come to question 11. What question 11 says? There are two parts of question 11. First part is, India has had a long and unbroken tradition of great scholarship in maths, astronomy, linguistics, logic and ethics. Yet in parallel with this, several superstitious and obscurantist attitudes and practices flourished in our society and unfortunately continue even today among many educated people too. How will you use your knowledge of science to develop strategies to develop strategies to counter these attitudes? So answer is poverty and illiteracy are the two major factors. So science and technology can improve it, but this is the only answer. The simple thing, the poverty and illiteracy are the two major factors, and science and technology can improve it. This is the first part of the 11th question. The second part of 11th question is, though the law gives women equal status in India, many people hold unscientific views on a woman's innate nature, capacity and intelligence, and in practice give them a secondary status and role, demolishes this view using scientific arguments and by quoting examples of great women in science and other spheres, and persuade yourself and other that given equal opportunities, women are on par with men. So we can see that women have different fields. Women have done great jobs in politics, in science and technology, in sports. So many examples: Mother Teresa, Indira Gandhi, Lakshmi Bai. You can say there are huge number of women, which I think so many, countless numbers, you can name them. And so you can say that women's status are very much powerful, they are equal. Okay, now the next question 12, the last question 12, and this question number 11th, one thing I would like to say in question 11th, that women's empowerment is the need of hour, because the 50%, without help of this women's participant in our society, we cannot be the global power. So we have to respect women, we have to empower women, we have to give all opportunities to women so that our country could be the powerful country across the world on every aspect. Okay, now come to the question 12th. It is more important to have beauty in the equations of physics than to have them agree with experiments. The great British physicist P.A.M. Dirac held this view, criticized this statement. Look out for some equations and results in this book which strike you as beautiful. So we can say, again I am reading the question, it is more important to have a beauty in the equations of physics than to have them agree with experiments. Some equations are very easy, very tiny, very beautiful, and they are true on every experiment. For example, so many equations of energy, E is equal to h nu, E is equal to potential energy is equal to mgh, kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. There are several examples. You can say also so many examples of the energy, that is E is equal to mc square also. So all have equal dimensional formulae. They are very small, tiny, and they are verified. They are true. By the help of experiment, we have proven these equations are true. So this is all about the NCERT solution of chapter 1 of physical world. In the next upcoming numerical class, I will deal with some solution of the next chapter. So I would say that please try to understand, try to read, try to think. If any doubt you want to ask me, you can ask. Okay, now you have got each and every concept of this lecture. what is from your side is remaining now to subscribe it. Please subscribe the channel so that you can get notification because it is in your benefit. Okay, so please subscribe. Don't forget, subscribe.